Hello, welcome back again. We're on the composer's cozy corner. And yeah, today we're going to pick up where we left off on composing a band piece. And so right now we're early to middle process. And where we're at in the piece, I would say we have like a fair bit of material that we can definitely spread over probably I don't know exactly how many measures, but yeah, we have enough definitely for the first movement, probably more than enough for the first movement of the piece. So let's revisit it, and let me share my screen with you. Okay. All right. So if we remember our theme from last time, it's we're starting C minor, and it's that scale, basically part of the scale upwards, and then mix them with some leap in the opposite direction, and then skip up, step down, and then yeah, so that's our melody, measure one, top measure treble clef for people who didn't see it last time. So yeah, and it's maybe a little odd. It's not that odd. We start with the third of the chord on the melody in the top, but we start on, we start in root position on a C. So I would say that what establishes our key there. Okay, so let's see. Hey, what's up? Not much. I was just playing, looking through the melody, measure one. It sounds like this. Oh wait, no, that's the first part. It's actually this. My bad. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, that's right. It just sounds odd. Yeah. One more time. Yeah. Oh wait, no, sorry, my brain was thinking in trouble in bass clef. It's yeah, that's the first. Yeah, it's pretty good so far. We haven't really developed the piece a lot. We've just kind of been putting in, still kind of in this sketching phase. And as people have been noticing so far, kind of in the process I've been using on this piece, I do a lot of sketching first. Or, if you're playing an instrument or our guitar player, in the case of our viewer here, then, or I know some of our viewers here, you would, I guess, riff. I've seen a lot of guitarists riff, and it's the same process, right? We're just writing it on paper or on a computer, right? Yeah, and then we have that. I kind of see our melody too as like an A and a B, because it's got the first part, right? This part we just played. and then it kind of picks up on almost like an answer to that. I think I hear the next part as an answer. So starting on that eighth on the end of 3. Or yeah, we could actually go to D here too. Yeah, and if you're lost, I played from measure middle of measure 2 and into downbeat of measure 4. Like noodling. Yeah, that's one way to do it. So yeah, we can start. I think that's probably the best way for most people starting out, especially if you play an instrument, is to noodle. I know there's some composers that don't play instruments at all, and they have a different, process they might use. But I think it's good to learn an instrument, definitely if you don't know one, and if you want to write music. And piano's like not my first instrument. I don't consider myself a pianist, but I use it as a tool, All right, so now that we've kind of recapped what we did a little bit, the middle part we kind of got into different keys, experiment with different keys. I guess so. We could either work through and try to get ourselves into the different sections. I guess like work through and develop transitions. Maybe like to this, for instance, to the sequence at measure 8. Where we land on that chord, we kind of have a cadence here at measure 7. Then we go into this. Actually, and just for as a note, I think sometimes the best transition is silence. So let's see. Let's not bring up my note palette. Oh, maybe it's on my other screen. No. Huh. Let's see. Okay. Nope. Whoops. Okay. Hold on, let me see if I can get this accent palette real quick. Let's see, it should come up. Nope. Articulation tools. Well, let's see if it does it. Here. There we go. Oh, now there it goes. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna put like a accent there, just to kind of signify a stop. Oh, let's see if it'll do it again. Whoops. Okay. Select. Okay. Yeah, just put an accent there, just to kind of signify just a hard like hit on that chord. So this is how we'll transition from measures into measure 7 into 8 is we'll just have that. What notes do we have? So we have G, B flat, D, and another G. Or sorry, B flat. A B flat, another B flat. Sorry, I might have been thinking my brain gets messed up. Treble clef, bass clef, like switching. A B flat, another B flat. A D and a G. So it'll just be like a hard kind of stop on that chord, but kind of drawn out, you know, because the value it's half note. You know, and then maybe we put a little breath mark or something there that tells them to kind of release, you know, like release here, you know, somewhere between the and of 4 and the downbeat. Maybe we could even do something like this, make it a little more clear to tell the musicians to stop or cut off, basically. So just as a reminder. Okay. And also something real quick, anytime we have a key change, I like to put things in parentheses. So let's see what notes that are changed. We went from like C minor, minor, E flat major into looks like B flat or G minor, or yeah, G minor. Yeah. So undo. Yeah, so I'm gonna put parenthesis on the B flat. So we have C, D, E flat. We still have that. And we had these from the last key signature, so I guess we don't really need to put these, but I will anyways. But we had a change, and the note change was that A flat, or yeah, that A flat. So let's see where we have. See B flat, A natural. So that'll tell people as they're reading through. Sometimes they forget. I think it's good to throw in accidentals just to tell you, at least for the first. If you have the note a lot, which let's see, do we have it a bunch? Yeah, we kind of do. I'm gonna put another one there. If you have it, I would say if you have it more than a couple or several times in the first like 3 or 4 measures, I would probably put it. And we do. We have it a couple times. Right. All right. And then we have some other stuff going on. And I think in general, I kind of sometimes you get started and it's sometimes easier just to oh yeah, let me answer some of the chat questions. Sorry. Looks like there's multiple key changes. Yeah, you're right. So I think I explained that, but I'll just say it again. We start off in C minor, and then we wanted to go to G minor, and then I think the next section was going to be like another transition, which honestly we could build this out more in the middle. I already know we could build it out more. So I'm going to insert some more measures. Or nope. Yep. Let's just add, I'm going to add 8. So just even like phrases, I guess. Yeah, because we have like a 4-bar phrase ish. and like some change before the cadence. But I kind of see the beginning of measure 5 as an extension up until that. Anyways, let's not get too bogged down. Okay, I guess stay focused. In some of the notation, yeah. So the notation that's red, it is that's another layer. It's in the system. I had to put it as another layer because they're measure 31 because I wanted to put different values than what the melody and what I had in the bass clef had. And ultimately, like, those will be put in a full band score in as inner voices. That range, it's generally like trombones, probably trombone, trumpet, maybe clarinet. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. But yeah, but then when it gets into the sub range, it's like tuba, maybe bass clarinet. No, probably not. Probably like tuba and stuff. Okay. Okay, let's switch over to our scroll view. Or actually, it's where you modified. Yeah, it's where I modified the original score, I guess. Yeah. Even though, I don't know if I would call it modified. I added to it. So yeah, I guess I modified it. Yeah. Okay, so I think in this beginning here, let's see, I want to work on building that out some more. So we started a sequence from last time. We could sequence more, or we could have something that kind of interrupts it after that sequence. What do we think? And I could play it slowly too, if you want. Yeah, how about I do that? Oh wait, I think I misread so B flat C. E. Oh wait, this doesn't need parentheses. Whoops, made a mistake. That doesn't really need it. No, I just have to delete it. Yeah, because that's a C. I don't know why anyways. Yeah. F, G, A. Oh, we have it here. So there, we'll put one there. F, G, A. But then we kept the A flat there. So I think, and we kept it there. The reason we have an A flat there in measure 10, even though we're kind of in this new key, I'm still kind of working out of the old key. Like, usually what I do is sometimes I'll throw the A flat. I like to hear the A flat in there sometimes. It might also make it easier to return back into C minor too if we wanted. I think it does because you're still kind of hearing it. And yeah, I don't really know if I hear all this in a key. I don't know if I want it. I don't like to stay solidly in a single key. I like to move around a lot. You missed the question. Oh no, you're good. Okay. Let's hold over there in the bass. Yeah, and so what do we have? So we have that little sequence. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right, do we want to go? We could land on that chord. I don't even know. We're definitely keyless if we start doing stuff like that. I think we kind of break this sequence. We interrupt it with something like that. What's that chord? Just like some kind of diminished D flat. Yeah, some kind of D flat diminished. Okay. Okay, let's spell that out. Let's see. Do we have a? Oh yeah, actually. Let's do this. I'm gonna just do it real quick and explain what I did. Diminished? Yeah. Yeah, you like diminished. The diminished chord. Yeah, play that last phrase going into. I'll show you kind of what I'm doing. I think if I play it slowly, you'll kind of see what I'm doing. So we're taking that F basically, and then so you're hearing this, but instead of going to where you want us to go, which would be, I don't know where you would want that to go. C major? No, probably not C major. Back home by E flat, or since we're in G minor, you probably want us to go back there, or maybe to maybe here. Maybe stay. Maybe you would want yours to staying there, right? So I guess that's like an option, you know? But we didn't do that. We went to D flat. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so what notes do we have there? We have D flat. D flat, E. I'm probably going to spell this wrong. I'll fix it later if I do. And sometimes when you're going out of the key and stuff, I mean, we can think about function and stuff later, right? We can think about all that later. I don't want to get too bogged down into heavily analyzing our piece yet. Yeah. E flat, E, G flat, E, G, B flat, and we'll put a B flat somewhere in there. And we'll put it, so we could put it here. And we might even have it holding over from the last measure or something. Maybe like this. Oh, no. But actually, okay, I'm going to do this temporarily just to, so I can put this note in. Okay. This is not the right way you would spell this. We would need to go back and change this, but yeah. Let's see, rest. Oh no, I'd put in another layer, I guess. Yeah, let's change that. I don't want to. Like to represent it in one if I can, but not a big deal. Okay. Yes. Then B flat. Let's see, just tie that. There we go. So that way it's holding over kind of from the last measure. We're not playing all the notes at once, and I kind of like it like that. Okay. And then this note, as anyone who's perceptive on here, or if you didn't notice, is cool. It's not technically in the chord, right? Because it's. Oh wait, maybe it is. No, not really. Yeah. So we also have the A flat in there. That might give us problems. Okay, so we have two options. We could go down to this G here, or we can go up to this B flat here. Which one do we think we like? Layers on layers like lasagna. That's a nice comment. Yeah, it's kind of like lasagna, right? So we can either resolve the bass because we have the note holding over from the last chord, and I like that. I don't know if that's a suspension. I don't think it is. I don't think it technically is, but it's kind of is like one. The suspension, while we're on that, for it to actually be a suspension, which I don't know if this one is. I don't know if I hear it that way. I have to think about that. Basically, it's a consonants that holds over and forms a dissonance. What a suspension is. But so on this, we need to resolve it, or we need it to go somewhere, right? Because we want good voice leading and stuff. So we can do this. I'll play the first one, and then I'll play the second one. First one's up to B flat. The second one's down to G. Yeah. Sorry. kind of like the down to G the best. So I think we're going to do that. What do we think? Yeah, suspension. Yeah. Yeah, some people have fairly certain that's what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain that's what it is. Because you know, people will confuse the concepts. They'll think suspension as a suspended chord if they're a guitar or piano player or something. But no, that's what suspension, yeah, is. I'm pretty sure. You can look it up and study it on your own. Get back to me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure. And we can have full video on stuff like that too if we want. Just let me know. Yeah, I like that. It sounds darker. I think the going down in the G sounds a bit darker and a little more rich. Okay, so we've kind of got ourselves into that area. I think now is a good time maybe to think harmonically because now we've kind of worked ourselves into a weird position here. And we can go back, fill it out. We might use fragments of the melody, you know, in between. We might sequence on these chords, you know, there's a lot of options. Let's go over 2 beats. So from that D flat, let's work into where we think the chord can go next. So that we could go to an E flat. That kind of sounds like a cadence. Sounds kind of familiar. That's almost, it's kind of weird. Listen to that. We could do that. More about harmony? Yeah, we're doing it now. Cool. We got to go to a C minor, right? Yeah, I think, and now is, I guess, where we're talking about more of the qualities. The going to that E flat, I think, sounds pretty uplifting. Almost sounds like we're trying to cadence, like the end of a phrase or something. Might work well there. We might do that. Actually, yeah, we'll do that. We're gonna repeat this again, right? So it doesn't sound like an accident somewhere. Let's go ahead. I'm just gonna copy this measure. And kind of we have 4-bar phrase ish here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's repeat it toward the end of where we're kind of supposed to go into like another section. Or I don't remember exactly what we were gonna do over here going into our other section, measure 19. But right now, yeah, let's go ahead. I'm gonna just spell out. Let's just put in that C minor chord, kind of like that. And but over here, I'm gonna put the E flat. Just spell that out so we have it. I'm just gonna do a root position, which means the first note of the chord in the bass. So E flat. Oh wait, actually no. I like that inversion actually. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna put that C in the bass. Oh, actually, it's an A flat, isn't it? A flat chord, not E flat. Still works. I mean, I like it. I don't know how it makes sense in the key or anything yet, if we even are in one, right? So C. I played a C. I played E flat up here, and I had an A flat. And we'll spread out the chord. We have some more of an open voicing. G, A. Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. And we'll put a C minor here. Yeah, spot E, and then we need a G. Okay, so it's the smoothest voice leading. We should just have that hold, that one note. Boom. Holds over. And just going to put this here for now. Clean all of it up later. Let's see. Okay, even have like a little lower, maybe a lower neighbor if we wanted. Actually, no, I want to put that because we want to hear the E natural going down to E flat, right? So what we're hearing here, we're hearing the G holding, right? Pretty much the E natural down to E flat, and then we're hearing the D flat. Now here's something I think that's maybe a no-no in classical, but I'm just gonna write it like this for now. Actually, we can resolve it down. That D flat, it resolves down to that C in the bass, but we're crossing. So this octave designation, if we were to put it on the bass clef, it would be here, right? D flat. Yeah, it would be there. So basically, well, let me undo that actually. Yeah. It would be there. So it would be, we're playing the octave above that C. So this might present a problem, right? We might start to get clunky sounding intervals. We could also get things like hidden fifths, parallel fifths. We watch out for those, but I go back and do those later in the editing process, right? You don't think about everything all at once, right? You go back and edit, or at least I do. But so I think to kind of fix it, what we'll do for now, we're just going to lead down so we know it's there, right? We're going to put that C on beat 2 for now. And I'll just have it hold over into the next. Boom. There we go. Okay. Whose line is it anyway? Whose key is it anyway? Yeah, it's funny reference. Yeah, we don't have to be in a key, right? This is not classical music, right? We're contemporary, contemporary composer. We all are, right? We have knowledge from all the different periods, and we're using them. We're using all of it. Yeah, whatever sounds good is good. Oh, I've heard that so many times. I've heard that a lot. Not, it's true though. Yeah, but on here, for purposes of this channel, and our educate, and I guess education in general, I want to say more than just I like it or it's good, right? Okay, so then from that C minor, well, we just like do a stepwise thing in the bass. I'll just spell it out in quarter notes for now. Doesn't matter. We don't have to have I don't have a specific rhythm in mind yet. We're just going kind of down the scale, right? And I kind of like the chords. Maybe we could do C minor to like a B flat or something. C minor. You put the B flat on the end of it too. You put a 7 there, right? And that could actually lead into. Well, let's write it out. Let's see what it looks like. Right, flat. All right, so I'm gonna put a B flat. I'm gonna put, we'll tie that into the next B flat, which will be our tonic, right? So we have a root position chord here, meaning B flats in the bass, and we also have our B flat up here too. All right, so we need an E flat and we need a G somewhere, right? Easiest thing to do for now, we put it. I like to have the bass separated in this octave designation by an octave, and that's because as you get lower, the lower sounds that get closer together, they'll sound more muddy. So I like to have these. I want this chord to be very vibrant, almost kind of strong when we hit it, right? So I'm gonna space that out. In general, I prefer an open voicing, depending on what we're trying to do. But I think here an open voicing, it works. And what I just mean, we've got more space, right, between the notes. That's put simply. So, yeah. Fifth right there. That might not be bad. But let's put it up here, right? That our trombones can have that, you know. Okay. So, and then I think I want to go to that A flat. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to go. Let's think about that a minute. Think about, okay, so what we're doing now went from C minor to that B flat chord. I guess it's not really a B flat, is it? Sorry, E flat, but we have it in So, okay, this is something I went by my ears, what my ears heard, right? Which I heard a B flat chord, okay? Which it's a 6/4 chord, right? That's what we'll call it. And so this, since we have, it's actually an E flat chord, like technically, but I don't hear it that way. I hear it as a B flat, and that's because we have the fifth, the B flat in the bass. So if I spell out an E flat chord, it's E flat, G, B flat. But we put this note down here. So it sounds like a 5, right? So if you're trying to stay more in classical music land, you got to be careful about how you resolve these with fifth in the bass, because it doesn't sound like an E flat chord. It sounds like a B flat. And in general, we want to go with what our ears hear, I think, or it's kind of a compromise. We want to go with look what's on the page, but when we play it, we could analyze a chord as one thing, right? And then we could listen to it and actually decide, no, it doesn't actually function that way, sound like that, right? Okay. So not to stay too long on one thing. Sorry, it's a lot of information. Yeah, so let's do that. Okay, so we're going to keep actually most of those notes. We have some pretty smooth voice leading. We might want to break it up a little bit, right? Be a little more dramatic, maybe. Okay, so we went up to that A flat, and then what if we maybe we still keep the B flat in there? Maybe we still have it holding over sustaining, maybe. No, I don't like that as much. We're gonna have it go down, right? Yeah. And in general, we have a lot of octaves, but that's fine for band. We're gonna spread this out over a whole, bunch of different instruments. Big, band. If we have a full band, it's pretty, bigger instrumentation, larger, more instruments. Okay, so. We have questions so far. We know what we did, or know what we're doing. Okay. Okay, so then from there, we have a lot of clean stuff. Let's add in maybe some melodic kind of stuff. Man, it's getting busy. But I have a lot of ideas. Let's see. I kind of like, layers and layers of octaves. Octaves are good though. If you want to repeat a note, it's good to repeat the root. If you repeat the fifths too much, then it starts to sound like that fifth of the chord is actually the root. It starts to get, I think, more ambiguous. And if you don't have a third in there, the third of the chord determines the quality, right? You're going to hear that over and over from everybody, but on here, I'm going to say it a bunch just to ingrain it in people. Yeah. So the third determines the quality of the chord. Major or minor is what we mean. And I think we should stay on that. Let's stay on that chord a little while. Stay on it till like the end of the measure there. Right, and at the ending we might do something like this. Yeah, let's go ahead and just write something like that in there. Three and C. All right, yeah. So I'm kind of hearing something else. We can, as we go into this next measure, right? With this kind of, I guess, little, transitional type of material at the end of the measure there, starting on a B3. All right. F minor. It's kind of dramatic, I think. So that would be like sound like this. Check our notes again. Something like this. Yeah, I like that. Right now we're back in E flat. We could do that. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I got lost there. Add some dramatic flair. Yeah, that's what we want, right? I want that. And for it to be the most dramatic, because that's really what we want. Well, maybe we don't want the most dramatic yet. So go to that chord. Oh, we kind of want it to be the strongest, don't we? Let's see. actually, well, this might be a good opportunity to do something funky. Let's see. Let's go ahead and put in that F minor. All right, we have that in the bass. That. Yeah. I kind of hear that. And how about this? We added in D, right? Which is yeah. So we add in that leading tone, right? Kind of almost like we're in E flat again. Well, we were in C minor earlier, which is what's the relative? Yeah. Wait, no. No, it's not. A flat would be. Oh, so I guess. Yeah, I've kind of been hearing E flat throughout this for some reason. I don't know exactly why. Uh, you know, put it in there. I guess because it's the five. We kind of did some weird stuff with the A flat chord, and it sounds like maybe we're going to the 5 of something again. Still don't really know what key we're in. Time to bring the funk. Yeah, that's right. Not the style of it necessarily, but you know, maybe funk is more like a it's more of a vibe than a style, anyways. Maybe. Just put that there so I know it's there. Okay. I'm gonna put one in the bass too. How about that? Put a big. Oh, and actually, I think this sounds good. We'll delay it even more, right? Here, I'm about to do something cool. Put in kind of I don't know what that is, but putting in that leading tone, right? Which I really need. We need this to happen on a downbeat or on beat 3 for it to really be strong. But we go back and fix that if we need to. Right? We can just make it this 8th note. I just want to know the chords there for now. B flat. Okay. Deciding where to kind of put these. D, so we got a D. A flat, got that. Put on one here, A flat, down to G, right? Right down to G. It's going up. Yeah, we'll put it there. So maybe we'll take this B flat away. We're getting a little clunky. And yeah, we got a bunch of B flats down there, so we're good. Don't want to hear that B flat hold. So where did we have a B flat in there before? We had it there. We had a D there. Okay, so all of it makes sense. Okay, and we'll go ahead and put one down here too. It's bugging me a little. All right. All right, that's pretty solid cadence right there. Pretty final sounding, right? Okay. So, gonna have a lot of harmonies and things built out, which is good. I'm kind of hearing this as like a slower section of the piece. As we go on, we keep developing it out. This is just what we do. Yeah, the spiritual funk. That's good. I gotta remember that. And then someone said that in the chat. Let's see. Yeah. But don't you hear this as a slower section? I kind of do. So we might even put a little marking there and remind ourselves, right? So we come back next time. We're kind of getting into, kind of hear something different going on here. Boom. Let's add a expressive technique. We'll say appassionato, cantabile, singingly, something like that. Passionately singing, something like that. Animated. We're not agitated, really. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. We can even put both there. Let's put both. Why not? Can't decide. All right. We want our players to get the idea, and we'll organize this later. We'll, whatever. Yeah, how I'm playing it does sound like a ballad, and even the harmony in and of itself, like it would sound weird if even just hearing the harmonies, if it was fast, I can hear it slower. We could even put a tempo change there too. Maybe like Andante or something like what's Andante or what's forgot about what BPM that is. Need to brush up. Let's see. Yeah, tempo markings. It's like put that. What's Adagio? It's like 60 BPM or something. Or kind of depends, it says 56 right there. Yeah, I don't want it that slow. That's Adagio, maybe. We'll just put that there for now. Boom. And normally, anytime I'm not, oh, we'll do. I'll put it. I know I keep saying I'll put it in later, but I normally go back in editing process and go back with more of a fine tooth comb, and then I'll put quarter note equals this, because now it's just easier to have it there for people to reference, so they don't have to look up something on their phone, or they're not thinking about markings basically too much. Even though a seasoned musician will know usually, but people now, uh, contemporary composers, and they'll put usually quarter note equals, or just to be specific. Anything basically, if you're starting to recognize a pattern in what we're doing, we kind of want clarity, right, in how we represent stuff in the notation. And then we kind of also we want clarity, and we want people to be able to understand what our vision is, really. That's why, um, so that they can focus on expressing it on their instrument as best they can, and they're not thinking about minute things that we don't, they want to be focused too. Yep. So we always want to be clear. But yeah, clarity. We want things to use the smoothest voice leading we can in general. And in general, especially on like a section like this, we want nice, sustained, and even, uh, things, uh, sounds. Yeah. Gotta stop saying things so much. It's not clear, right? Clarity. Okay. Yeah. All right. So again, we kind of worked through. I'm not concerned either about the amount of measures, right? I want this to be really thought through. Okay. So if I only write 4 measures in an hour, that's what we wrote, Um and typically, as we start to get into this middle process, we're starting to see what our piece is becoming, right? We're starting to get out of the sketching phase, and now we're starting to flesh out what we had before, right? What we had at the beginning. And as we do that more, we'll start to get even out of that phase into more of a, I guess, a development, right? We're starting to develop, right, what we have written. So yeah, that middle to process, that middle to, uh, we're not at the end stage. We're kind of beginning the middle stage of our process. And it's kind of we're still kind of creating a little bit, and we're also kind of developing too as we go. So, and by development, I mean adding to what we have there, right? And in general, just to recap, something good to note, um, is in general, we have, material is either transitional or transitive, however you want to say it, or it's more substantial, right? It's either a main idea or it's like a transitional piece, right? So that's kind of how I think about it. Or it could be, it can be a little bit of both. There's not hard boundaries. There's not a right and a wrong. This is kind of just, sound concept, and just kind of what we think. Yeah, it's starting to come together, right? We didn't get as much into our other sections, but I liked just hearing and working out those harmonies, and kind of as I work through the harmonies, uh, different material, different, what did you call it? sometimes, like kind of what we did today, we're working through those harmonies, and then out of that kind of came another idea, which actually kind of almost looks like an inversion of our melody. It's not. It's close. We could just change one note. Uh, it'd be kind of like an inversion of what we started with. So we're kind of got similar rhythms still, and all this is basic. We have really basic rhythms, which for band, you know, we don't have to have complicated rhythms, right? Because they're gonna be thinking, sustain the sound, or I think they will. So, but I don't get too caught up in what they'll be thinking, but we want to write music that's suitable. It's idiomatic for people who are playing it. So yeah. All right, so I went over a little bit over an hour, trying to generally keep to an hour. We can go longer though if we like that. A transition. All right, so I'm just going to answer a question in our chat really quick. Like a transition or more like a motif? Yeah, motif or motive. Yeah, a main idea, right? You could also have counter melodies, stuff that works against, right, the melody. Or it doesn't have to be harmonically against it, but it's just like another idea, but it's substantial enough to be its own thing as well. So yeah, so that'd be like two main ideas, right? I'm just putting it simple, right? Not trying to use too many terms, but yeah, use the terms. We like it. Yeah, like a motif, like a main idea. Yeah. All right, cool. So wrapping up, and do we have any questions before we end? Give you a minute to think. All right. Well, if there's no more questions, you can always comment down below for more content that you want me to make or you want us to show on here. Yeah, if you like this stuff, subscribe to the channel. That way you get notified when the live streams will go up. And please like this video. Okay, we'll get this question real quick. A counter melody is like similar to counterpoint or like a form of it. Counter melody doesn't necessarily mean counterpoint. Counterpoint's kind of its own thing. Counterpoint, which we could do a whole series on, counterpoint goes deep. I could have a channel only about all we do is counterpoint, a form of it. It's not a form of it, really. No. All we mean by counter melody, it's similar, I guess. But to me, counterpoint is really what it is. It's a treatment of dissonance. Is really what it is. No one will tell you that if you look up YouTube videos and things, but it's a treatment of dissonance, really, I think. And I know it's confusing a little bit sounding, but basically in counterpoint, though, like what most people mean, or what a lot of times I've heard the term used for, someone will say, oh, we have like a melody or we have this motif, and then we can counter it in the bass. We have a counter line in the bass. They'll say that, which that is kind of more like what counterpoint is. And really kind of one of the objects in it is we're trying to develop independent lines that function that can function together, right? That's kind of in the end stages of counterpoint. But in counterpoint, you have a cantus firmus, which is the main line, right? I guess we could also call it a melody. CF. So, and then you have other dependent lines that go along with it. And then you've got like note to note counterpoint too, where it's like it's going quarter, and there's different rules. It's really complex, but saying counter melody is not the same thing as what counterpoint is. No, not really. Yeah, slowly grasping it. Yeah, it's a really. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble explaining it fully because it can go really in depth, and yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah. I'm probably gonna do more videos about counterpoint. Actually, going through it, it'd be really good. Number one for me to brush up on, and number two, it's a little more advanced, but I think some of our viewership is ready for it. Yeah, and definitely, really, I think really powerful as a tool, right? Because now we can create, if we wanted to, we could create multiple independent lines that'll function all together and have smooth, really smooth voice leading too. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, that's our time for tonight. And comment down below videos you want me to make. Subscribe to the channel. Like this video if you like our content. And we'll see you back on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Thursdays, we're going to be working in the score. For now, Tuesdays, I'm going to try to work in a DAW, or I'm going to try to do something different from what the score is, right, in general. So Tuesdays are mixing it up days. Thursdays are we're going to go in more depth on the concepts, music theory stuff, looking at stuff on the score, things like that. Yeah. And all this is kind of our application, right? It's an application of music theory. It's not just music theory, right? So, yep. All right. More on that later. All right. Keep rocking. Have a good night. Thank you.